Art is everywhere you look, whether it's on a random cereal box or in a Roman cathedral. It pervades every inch of society. Some of it is of higher quality and purpose than others. Commercial art, while often reducing art to the base and vulgar, is certainly the most prevalent, populating everything from TV shows to toaster strudels. Many advertisements are bland and banal, following the same sad corporate pattern. But other commercial art is inspiring, perhaps in spite of its origins. From the 1980s to present, one area which continues to make lasting impressions is video game box art. Like a movie poster, box art serves to draw the potential participant in, while at the same time giving a taste of what the person can expect from the work. Some box art is remembered because of its beauty, and others by their bizarreness, intentional or not. But regardless of whether it was objectively bad or good, it usually was entertaining. And this is especially true for those games which had more traditionally styled art appearing on the box. Some of these works helped define an artist's entire career, and sometimes the art was done by already well-established artists and helped to further their own skills. These artists had an incredibly important task on their hands. Like the cover of a book or board game, the box art is the first thing a person will judge when seeing a video game, and so it is an important aspect of the item. I myself have been gifted games because of the art contained on the cover. A person can enjoy this art in its own right without even referencing what is contained within, though that can add another layer of appreciation. While there are still many entertaining box arts appearing today, it does seem as if much of the art is lacking that little bit of charm that past works carried. I miss the old cartoon Mario appearing on the cover of games, and while I understand that it might appeal less to modern audiences, in the older works a fellow could feel the person behind the art in a much more meaningful way than, say, the cover of Mario Kart 8. This is not to say that cover art is all bad now, but it has moved beyond its traditional feel into something different, much as movie posters have developed, especially in a more digital direction, over time. The Intellivision Amico seeks to return to the older style of box art, while at the same time making it new and fresh. Mike Dietz, the art director for the Amico, noted that, quote, "We don't want to be perceived as a retro console. I really wanted to not make it entirely retro, but I wanted to kind of tip my hat to the old designs. As soon as we started talking about what we wanted these illustrations to look like, we knew we wanted them to have a little bit of a nod towards that 1970s illustration style." End quote. Dietz further notes that the box art is created using mixed media such as traditional watercolors and inks, as well as modern digital tools. In this way, the Amico again blends the old and the new, preserving some fun and otherwise neglected aspects of historic gaming, but presenting it in new packaging, literally and figuratively. Let's take a look at some of the new box art. Most of these appear to be the works of Marty Davis, but I cannot confirm every piece as being his. First up, we have Evel Knievel, daredevil extraordinaire, whose box art evokes the old posters advertising the death-defying stunts of this motorcycle master. Secondly, we have Dynablaster, the cutesy bomb-setting strategist who, by the looks of the cover, just had a near-miss of his own. Thirdly, we have Missile Command, where retro-style rockets and computers create a sense of impending doom in a world where missiles race towards their targets, a city on the edge of oblivion. The box art certainly captures the feeling of the original game, perhaps more so than any other game with an Intellivision or Atari original. Fourthly, Rigid Force Redux Enhanced, an indie space shooter whose box art reminds me of certain retro Japanese productions from the 1970s and 80s. Fifth is Moon Patrol, and I just love the colors used here. A cold blue broken up by red and yellow lights, creating a contrast to the appearance of peace and space and the actual dangers that lurk therein. The tank design is just really neat also. Sixth is Finnegan Fox, which has a fun, cartoony cover featuring the main character. It comes across as bouncy and very kid-friendly. Seventh is Brain Duel, which is a very pleasant, calming cover with dominating earth tones and some agreeable cartoony characters, one grandfatherly and the other a youth, both apparently eager and amused by the knowledge they are finding. Lastly, there is Biplanes. Biplanes is by far the best box art. The biplane designs are colorful and energetic, The insert featuring the Barnstormer-style pilot, whose scarf trails off behind him, evokes a lot of fun and fancy, and the work has an eerie quality about it. I love the classic blue and red colors here, especially shown in the smoke. And also, there's a blimp. Who can go wrong when you have a blimp? I am not one to get excited about video games, but this box art is a genuine pleasure to see. I love having these on my bookshelf and pulling them out and viewing them. If the Intellivision Amico had nothing else going for it, I would still enjoy it because of the art. And more good art gracing the world? Why, that's surely something everyone can be happy about.